The galaxy had always known Earth as loud, chaotic, and alive. Signals from the small blue planet poured into the galactic subspace network every day. Human voices, their radio chatter, satellites buzzing, and spacecraft pinging. It was impossible to miss. Other species often joked about how noisy humans were, how obsessed they were with communicating, trading, exploring, and even arguing about the smallest things. And then, silence. It started slowly. A few satellites went dark. A research station stopped responding. Then a planetary network that once broadcasted Earth's daily activities, science discoveries, cultural messages, even the occasional human music, simply vanished. The council stations across the stars noticed it at once. Aliens who had monitored Earth for centuries could not believe it. "Check again," said Counselor Philo, a tall, multi-limbed being from the planet Korath. His voice trembled, though he tried to hide it. "There must be some mistake. Earth doesn't go quiet. It is impossible." "Not a mistake," said Linara, an Andari historian, her translucent skin flickering like liquid glass. "The signals have stopped. All communication. Entire planet. Dead silence. Nothing is coming from Earth. Nothing." The Galactic Council, a gathering of hundreds of species, erupted into chatter. Some demanded an investigation fleet. Others wanted to wait and see. But the tone was unanimous. Something had changed. Something fundamental. On Earth, however, the truth was far from destruction. In the deserts of Africa, in the labs of Europe, in the orbiting stations above the Pacific, humans were working. They had noticed their own planet's fragility, the dangers of constant conflict, and the need to prepare for something bigger, something the galaxy might not expect. They had decided to go silent, not out of fear, but out of strategy, focus, and unity. Dr. Ilara Singh stood in the central command of the orbital station, Horizon. She watched screens displaying Earth below, a planet glowing with cities, forests, oceans, and energy arrays. She sighed and whispered, "Finally, we are ready." Around her, humans coordinated in a quiet, intense rhythm. Satellites aligned to new orbital patterns, defense grids recalibrated to new planetary protocols, and communications were rerouted to encrypted deep space channels that only the most advanced humans could access. No signal would leave the planet's main network, no casual chatter. The galaxy would see silence, but beneath it, Earth was humming with activity. Meanwhile, across the stars, alien observers were growing anxious. Ships from the Zintari, the Kelthi, and even the formidable Varkan fleet approached, cautiously. Each species had their own reasons: curiosity, fear, or greed. They detected the signs of life, the energy spikes, the orbital activity, but no communication. "Do they know we are coming?" asked Jorvik, a young Kelti scout, scanning Earth's orbit. His compound eyes reflected the sunlit planet. "Why would they go silent?" "Perhaps it is a trap," hissed another scout. "Earth is small, yes, but humans, they are clever. Perhaps they wait for us to make the first move." Jorvik's antenna twitched nervously. He had read the reports of human ingenuity, of their history of surviving impossible odds, of their sudden leaps in technology. Yet he was not ready for this level of coordination. Even from orbit, the humans were invisible, organized, and untouchable. Back on Earth, Dr. Singh activated the secret transmitter. A small pulse of energy shot into deep space. A beacon, not loud enough to alert everyone, but strong enough for the most advanced sensors in the galaxy. It was a challenge and a message all at once. "We are here. Watch us. Wait for the right moment." In New Tokyo, Professor Kenji Mori watched from his lab as the same pulse traveled through quantum relays. He tapped a screen and smiled. "They will see it. Soon they will see it." The pulse, small yet precise, traveled faster than light, reaching the edges of the Galactic Council's observation network. Counselors gathered around glowing consoles, their faces, if they had faces, etched with tension. Did Earth just send something?" asked Linara. Her voice trembled. This is deliberate. They are not destroyed. They are hiding something, preparing something. Counselor Philo's long arms gestured in disbelief. Preparing for what? We have watched them for centuries. We have seen humans at their worst and their best. They are unpredictable, yes. But preparation? I don't understand. Why now? The council's debates stretched for hours, days, even. Some believed Earth had discovered new weapons capable of threatening nearby systems. Others suggested it was a defensive strategy, an unprecedented move by a species once considered young and reckless. Meanwhile, on Earth, children played in sunlit fields while satellites above monitored weather patterns and energy grids. Engineers in orbital stations adjusted fusion reactors. Scientists ran simulations predicting galactic reactions. And all the while, humans did what they had always done best: adapt, innovate, and persist. Ilara Singh walked to the observation deck, looking at Earth's glowing continents. Her mind wandered to what humanity had achieved in these silent months. They had united more than ever before. National borders seemed meaningless when the whole planet moved toward a single purpose. Poverty, war, and hunger were not yet gone, but they were shrinking. Humans had learned to cooperate at a scale the galaxy had never seen. "Are we ready for them?" a young officer asked her, eyes wide with curiosity and fear. Ilara smiled, quietly confident. "Yes, we are more ready than anyone imagines. Not for war, for discovery. Not for conquest, for understanding. The galaxy expects noise, chaos, and chaos alone. But we have learned to be quiet. And in our quiet, we have grown strong." The first alien ships reached the edge of Earth's solar system days later. They observed the planet with their sensors. Energy readings were high, but aggressive weapons were absent. Orbital satellites moved in synchronized patterns, almost like a dance. The aliens could feel the intelligence, the coordination, but nothing spoke to them directly. "They are different," Jorvik muttered, scanning once again. "Not like any species we have encountered." From Earth, the humans watched silently. They did not fire weapons. They did not panic. They waited, letting the aliens sense the change themselves. Every signal, every movement, every energy burst was deliberate. Humanity was sending a message without words. We have learned. We have prepared. We are ready. But on our terms. And somewhere in the far reaches of space, the pulse from Dr. Singh's transmitter slowly reached listening posts, travel corridors, and distant star systems. Other species who had ignored Earth before paused and looked again. The galaxy had noticed the silence, and the silence meant something had changed. At that moment, Earth went completely quiet. No casual chatter, no transmissions, just quiet, alive, humming with the activity of a species that had learned to focus, to cooperate, and to grow beyond its previous limits. The galaxy waited, and Earth waited too. Because sometimes silence was louder than noise, and humans had learned how to make it speak volumes. The silence of Earth sent ripples through the galaxy like a stone dropped in still water. For centuries, humans had been a noisy, unpredictable species. Their signals, full of life and chaos, had always been easy to track. And now, nothing. Not a single message, not a single signal. The Galactic Council was unsettled. Counselor Philo of Korath paced back and forth in his chamber aboard the station-high beacon. "It is unnatural," he muttered, his multi-limbed form stiff with worry. "The humans are always noisy, always visible. And now, nothing. Total silence. What could it mean? Perhaps it is a strategy," Linara, the Andari historian, replied, her voice calm but filled with intrigue. Her skin shimmered in pale green hues. "Humans are clever. Perhaps they have learned something. Perhaps they are preparing, or hiding, or plotting," asked Venner, a gruff Varkan delegate. His voice rumbled like distant thunder. "Do not forget, humans are small, but dangerous. They survive when others would perish. I do not trust silence." Across the galaxy, exploratory fleets were dispatched. Ships of all sizes, shapes, and purposes sailed toward the Sol system, carrying scientists, diplomats, spies, and warriors alike. None approached recklessly. Every captain knew humans had a history of unexpected solutions. Every counselor feared misjudging them. Among these observers, Jorvik, a young scout from the Kelti, sat in the observation deck of the starship Silent Huntress. His compound eyes reflected Earth's pale blue glow from the far distance. "They are different," he whispered to his mentor Tarlon. "Their energy readings are high, but there is no war activity, no weapons deployed. Yet something feels organized." Tarlon's antennae twitched. "Do not underestimate humans. They have survived worse than this galaxy can imagine. Every time we thought they were primitive, they learned, adapted, and outsmarted everyone. And now, silence. They have learned to wait." Meanwhile, on Earth, humans were preparing for the first real encounter. The silence they had chosen was deliberate, a sign of discipline and focus. Nations had united like never before, sharing technology, knowledge, and resources. The orbital station Horizon now served as the command center for all humanity's space initiatives. Dr. Alara Singh moved along the observation deck, studying the approaching alien fleets. "They are curious," she said quietly. "Some are cautious, some are aggressive, but none can predict what we have done. None can see the full picture." Her assistant, Lieutenant Amani Reyes, nodded. "We have prepared. Every system, every satellite, every ship is ready. They will see a unified Earth, a strong Earth." Ilara smiled. "Yes, and that is the point. They expect chaos. They expect disorder. And instead, they will see something else entirely." On board one of the first alien ships, a Zintari diplomat, named Kelrix, examined the sensors. The readings were astonishing. Energy grids were operating at unprecedented efficiency. Cities were powered with new energy sources. Orbital stations and satellites moved in synchronized patterns that suggested advanced coordination. "By the 9 stars," Kelrix whispered. "They are organized, more than any species we have encountered. They are advanced. But in what way?" His crew murmured among themselves, some excited, some fearful. They were scientists, not warriors, yet the tension was palpable. They had come to observe, not to provoke, yet Earth's silence spoke louder than any message. As alien ships approached the inner solar system, Earth's orbital defenses moved without firing a shot. Satellites shifted positions, sensors activated, and energy fields flickered across the planet's surface. To the outsiders, it looked like a dance, a carefully choreographed performance designed to impress and confuse. "This is not aggression," muttered Jorvik. "But it is power, and they are hiding it, deliberately." On Earth, Dr. Singh activated the next stage of their plan, the quiet broadcast. Using deep space quantum relays, she sent subtle pulses to the incoming ships, not a full signal, but enough to be noticed by advanced alien technology. The pulses traveled faster than light, reaching the nearest ships in seconds. Alien sensors picked up the transmissions and their crews reacted immediately. "Do you see that?" one Zintari officer asked, eyes wide. "They are sending something, but not words, not normal signals. It is subtle, intentional." "Yes," Kelrix replied. "It is a message. But what does it mean? Are they inviting us, warning us, or testing us?" The council back on distant Korath debated the implications. "They are showing us restraint," Lenara argued. "They are intelligent, cooperative, and careful. That is not weakness. That is strength. Or deception," Counselor Venner countered. "Humans are unpredictable. They may hide weapons, traps, or even alliances with other species we do not know about. Silence is a tactic. Do not be fooled." In orbit around Earth, the first alien scouts hovered silently, observing. They saw Earth's cities, glowing with energy. They saw orbital stations moving in perfect formation. They saw humans working, together not in chaos but in purpose. Every movement seemed intentional. Every signal, or lack of one, was deliberate. "They are remarkable," whispered Jorvik again, unable to hide his awe. "Not like anything I imagined. They are disciplined, clever, strong, but peaceful." Back on Earth, Ilara Singh and her team watched the approaching fleets through the observation deck's viewports. "They are curious," she said softly. "They will come closer, and when they do, they will see that we are not what they expected. That is when the real work begins." Meanwhile, humans on the surface continued their preparations. Scientists tested advanced propulsion systems capable of interstellar travel. Engineers optimized defense grids and satellite networks. Cities functioned with perfect efficiency, powered by renewable and quantum energy. And humans adapted to a new rhythm, one dictated not by chaos or war, but by purpose and unity. In New Tokyo, Professor Kenji Mori observed the first alien fleets entering the system. His console displayed dozens of ships, all moving cautiously, all scanning Earth. "They are curious," he said, a small smile on his face. "They are here to watch, not to attack, and they will see a species unlike any other." Hours passed. The alien fleets maintained orbit, scanning, observing, measuring. They could detect life, activity, energy, and coordination, but no messages, no chaos, no aggression. Their analysis confused and intrigued them. "They are not primitive," Kelrix admitted. "They are prepared and intelligent and united." Jorvik looked out at the glowing blue planet, his eyes wide. "I do not understand," he said quietly. "How can a species so small that have so much strength, so much unity?" Tarlin, his mentor, laid a hand on his shoulder. "They are humans," he said, "and humans, they always surprise. Always." In orbit, the alien ships adjusted their positions, forming a cautious perimeter. They could feel the intelligence behind every movement of Earth's defenses. They could sense the patience, the preparation, and the quiet power that humans exuded. And on Earth, humans watched silently. They did not fire a shot. They did not panic. They waited, allowing the galaxy to see the change for itself. Every sensor reading, every energy pulse, every orbital adjustment was a message. We are ready, not for war, but for something greater. Watch and learn. As night fell across continents, humans continued their work. Children played, unaware of the distant eyes watching their planet. Scientists studied stars, satellites monitored oceans, and engineers calibrated new machines. And all the while, the approaching fleets of aliens grew more curious, more cautious, and more aware that Earth was no longer the primitive planet they had once dismissed. The first pulse of a new age had been sent, and the galaxy was beginning to understand. Earth was quiet, but in that quiet something extraordinary had changed. For humans, silence was no longer a weakness. It was a signal. The alien fleets had arrived. Ships from Zintari, Kelthi, Varkan, and other distant civilizations hovered at the edge of Earth's orbit. Sensors scanned, cameras observed, and communication channels attempted to pick up signals. But Earth remained silent. Not a single message escaped the planet's carefully guarded networks. Among the alien observers, curiosity had grown into caution. The galaxy had expected chaos from humans, noise, aggression, unpredictable actions, and instead they found a planet humming with activity, organized, coordinated, and seemingly peaceful. "They are different," Jorvik, the young Kelthi scout, muttered as he observed Earth's orbital stations shifting like clockwork. "Not like anything I expected." Tarlin, his mentor, replied, "Humans are small, yes, but they are clever. Always clever. Do not underestimate them." Meanwhile, on Earth, the leadership had prepared for this moment. Months of planning, coordination, and quiet progress had led to this day. The humans would make the first contact, but carefully, strategically, and on their own terms. Dr. Ilara Singh stood on the observation deck of the Horizon station. Her eyes traced the approaching ships, noting their formations, speed, and distance. "It is time," she said softly to Lieutenant Amani Reyes. Reyes nodded. "Everything is ready. The ambassador is prepared. The protocols are in place." The ambassador was Dr. Naomi Alvarez, a linguist, diplomat, and scientist chosen not for strength or fame, but for intelligence, calmness, and understanding. She had spent years studying alien languages, customs, and psychology. She knew the importance of first impressions, especially when the galaxy was watching. A transport shuttle detached from Horizon and began a careful approach toward the largest alien vessel, a sleek Zintari flagship called Eterna. The shuttle glowed with Earth's light, reflecting the planet below. On board, Naomi felt her heart race. She had trained for years, but this was the first true contact with an alien species in full view of multiple civilizations. As the shuttle neared Eterna, it was met with hesitation. Alien scanners detected the small human ship and focused their sensors. Naomi's voice echoed in the shuttle's comms. "This is Ambassador Dr. Naomi Alvarez of Earth. We come in peace, with respect, and with the hope of understanding. We wish to speak with your leaders." Silence followed. Then, after moments that felt like hours, the flagship responded. A holographic figure appeared, a Zintari diplomat named Kelrix, his translucent skin shimmering in patterns that reflected both curiosity and caution. "Ambassador Alvarez," he said, his voice calm but firm, "we have observed your planet, your silence, your organization. It is unlike any species we have encountered. Why have you chosen this path? Why go quiet?" Naomi bowed slightly. "Our people have learned that strength is not shown by noise or aggression, but by unity, intelligence, and patience. We have prepared ourselves, not for war, but for understanding. We wanted to ensure that when we spoke, we could do so from a place of clarity, capability, and respect." The alien diplomats exchanged glances. Some of their faces or equivalent expressions showed disbelief. Others showed fascination. They had expected chaos, unpredictability, and perhaps primitive aggression. Instead, they found a species that had grown in silence, learning and preparing in ways they could barely comprehend. Kelrick studied her closely. "You speak with confidence, yet we see a small species. How can you hope to interact with the galaxy on equal terms?" Naomi smiled. "We are small, yes, but we have always adapted. We have survived challenges that seemed impossible, and we have learned that cooperation, innovation, and perseverance can surpass size, strength, or raw power. That is who we are." The council aboard Eterna and other ships debated in real time. Some feared deceit, suspecting hidden weapons or strategies. Others were inspired, seeing humanity's courage and ingenuity as something rare and remarkable. Meanwhile, the human shuttle carefully maneuvered to a stationary orbit between the alien fleets. Naomi projected another message, not just in words, but also through symbols, holograms, and energy patterns. She displayed Earth's achievements: cities powered by renewable and quantum energy, orbital stations functioning as research and defense hubs, advanced spacecraft ready for exploration, and humans cooperating across every field of science and art. The aliens were stunned, not by weapons but by intelligence, coordination, and creativity. They had expected aggression or primitiveness. Instead, they saw a species that had transformed itself quietly, growing stronger without conflict. Jorvik leaned toward Tarlin, his voice trembling slightly. I did not think this possible. They are prepared, they are ready. But peaceful?" Tarlin nodded slowly. "Yes. And that is the most dangerous thing for the galaxy to underestimate. They do not need to fight to be strong. They are clever, patient, and unified." On Earth, Naomi continued her demonstration. She showed simulations of humans navigating the asteroid belt, experimenting with energy sources, and traveling to nearby star systems. She emphasized exploration, knowledge, and cooperation rather than war. Every message, Every symbol, every projection was deliberate. Humanity was not a threat in the traditional sense, but it demanded respect. Kelrix, the Zintari diplomat, finally spoke again. Your people, they have changed. The galaxy has underestimated them for too long. We see now that Earth is no longer a primitive world. You have grown in silence, and the change is profound. Naomi nodded. Change is part of survival, and part of understanding. We wish to share, to learn, and to grow together. But we will not compromise our values or our planet. That is the promise of humanity. The aliens were quiet for a long moment. Then a delegation of Varkan scientists known for their skepticism and cunning spoke. We have observed your people. We see intelligence and patience. Yet we wonder, can you be trusted? Are you hiding something? Naomi's tone was calm, almost serene. Trust is earned through action, not assumption. We understand your caution, and we will prove it, not with words, but with deeds. The alien fleets hovered silently, watching, calculating, and reconsidering everything they thought they knew about humans. Every system scanned, every energy pulse measured, confirmed one truth. Earth was no longer a planet to dismiss. As the EO shuttle returned to Horizon, Naomi addressed the team waiting on the station. It is done, she said. They see us. They understand that we are not the species they expected. The next phase will be crucial, to show them our intentions through action, not just words. Alara Singh smiled. They will learn soon enough. Humans do not just speak, we act, and our actions will speak louder than any words ever could. Across the galaxy, news of the first encounter spread quickly. Other species, previously indifferent or dismissive of Earth, began adjusting their strategies. Some prepared to approach with diplomacy, others with caution. All recognized the same undeniable fact. Humans had changed. They had gone quiet. And, in that quiet, they had grown stronger, wiser, and more capable than anyone had imagined. The first encounter was not a battle, it was a revelation. The galaxy watched, and humanity, quietly but confidently, began to write a new chapter in its history, a chapter not of conquest but of ingenuity, unity, and hope. Naomi gazed at Earth below, glowing peacefully in the vastness of space. This is only the beginning, she whispered. They will see who we truly are, and the galaxy will never be the same. The galaxy had watched Earth with growing fascination. Humans had shown intelligence, patience, and unity. They had communicated through actions rather than words, impressing even the most skeptical species. Yet, curiosity alone was not enough. The Galactic Council needed proof. Humans have potential, Counselor Philo of Korath said, his voice echoing in the council chamber, but potential must be tested. They must demonstrate courage, cooperation, and the ability to act wisely under pressure. Linara of Andari nodded. We cannot rely on observations alone. Humans are clever. Their intentions may be noble, but can they survive the realities of space alongside other species? Thus the galactic test was born. A mission would be organized. A dangerous journey into the uncharted nebula known as the Shattered Veil. It was a region of unstable energy storms, magnetic anomalies, and unpredictable gravitational shifts. Many species had avoided it entirely. Few had returned. Earth accepted the challenge not out of pride but out of determination. Humans would demonstrate their skills, their ingenuity, and their willingness to cooperate. On board the Horizon, Dr. Alara Singh and Ambassador Naomi Alvarez reviewed the mission parameters with the team. This is not just a test, Alara said, firmly. It is an opportunity to show the galaxy who we are. We do not fight to dominate. We solve, we create, and we survive together. The human crew was carefully selected. Engineers, scientists, navigators, and diplomats, all trained in cooperation and problem-solving. Each had experience with advanced human technology, and each understood the stakes. Success would mean recognition and respect. Failure could jeopardize Earth's standing in the galaxy. As the human fleet prepared, alien delegations joined the mission. Kelrix, the Zintari diplomat, and Jorvik, the Kelthi scout, were assigned as observers. They would evaluate humans not only on skill, but also on character. Other species contributed ships, technologies, and expertise, creating a mixed fleet representing the diversity of the galaxy. The journey into the Shattered Veil began with careful navigation. Magnetic storms swirled like living clouds, distorting sensors and interfering with communications. Gravity wells shifted without warning, and energy bursts from dying stars threatened ships at every turn. For many species, panic was natural. Instruments failed, alarms blared, and tensions rose. Some crews argued over the safest path, but humans acted differently. Lieutenant Amani Reyes, piloting the lead ship, calmly assessed the readings. "Storm approaching," she said. "Adjust. Trajectory by 3.7 degrees. Energy shields at 90%. Prepare to synchronize with the fleet." Her voice carried no fear, only clarity. Other species noticed the difference. Where they panicked, humans analyzed. Where they hesitated, humans acted. And where they disagreed, they communicated clearly, seeking consensus rather than dominance. The first major test arrived in the form of a gravitational surge from a rogue black hole hidden within the nebula. Ships were pulled toward it. Systems, overloaded, and panic threatened to break the fleet's cohesion. "Focus!" Naomi Alvarez shouted to her crew. "Trust the calculations. Trust the coordination. Everyone, synchronize your thrusters with our matrix. We move as one." The human fleet executed a complex maneuver, adjusting shields, firing stabilizers, and sharing real-time calculations with allied alien ships. The entire formation twisted and turned in perfect harmony, evading the gravitational pull that would have destroyed any uncoordinated fleet. The alien observers were stunned. "Incredible," Jorvik whispered. "They move as if one mind guides them. Their coordination, it is beyond anything we expected." Kelrix nodded slowly. "And they do it without fear. That is remarkable. Most species would crumble under this pressure. But the tests were not only of skill, they were tests of ingenuity and diplomacy." Midway through the mission, a group of alien researchers became stranded in a sector of unstable energy clouds. Communication was weak, and systems were failing. Many species panicked, unsure how to rescue them without risking more ships. Humans acted immediately. Using advanced drones, magnetic grapples, and synchronized maneuvers, they formed a rescue chain. Lieutenant Reyes piloted the drones while engineers on board Horizon coordinated energy fields to stabilize the environment around the stranded ships. "Hold steady," Reyes instructed. "We will extract you safely. Trust us." Minutes stretched like hours. Every move was calculated. Every action relied on precision, communication, and teamwork. Finally, the alien researchers were pulled free, their ship stabilized, and systems restored. The rescued aliens were astonished. We never imagined a species like yours could act so perfectly under pressure," one said. "You saved, not just your own, but all of us. That is extraordinary." Humans simply smiled. "We value life. All life. That is our choice, and our strength," Naomi Alvarez said quietly. Further into the nebula, new challenges arose. Rogue energy storms erupted without warning, threatening the fleet with massive disruptions. Radiation spikes threatened both humans and aliens alike. And yet, the human fleet adapted every time, using creativity and innovation rather than brute force. One example was a collapsing energy conduit that threatened to sever the fleet's main communication link. Human engineers proposed using a coordinated relay system involving the alien ship's shields and energy channels. In a daring, synchronized maneuver, they created a temporary bridge that restored communication just in time. Alien observers were amazed. "They do not fight like warriors," Jorvik said, "but they overcome challenges that would destroy warriors. Their intelligence, cooperation, and courage, it is unlike anything in the galaxy." Kelrix, usually reserved and cautious, added, "They inspire confidence." They show that power is not only in weapons, but in knowledge, planning, and unity. By the time the fleet reached the center of the shattered veil, the test had proven more than the human's ability to navigate hazards. It demonstrated the very qualities that the galaxy valued most: intelligence, cooperation, courage, and ingenuity. Humans did not dominate the other species. They worked with them, leading through example rather than force. At the heart of the HFY Nebula, a rare celestial phenomenon awaited, a cluster of unstable stars on the verge of collapse. It was a dangerous area, impossible to traverse without precise calculations. Humans analyzed the gravitational patterns, energy emissions, and magnetic fluctuations. Then, using a combination of AI-assisted computation and human intuition, they guided the fleet safely through the collapsing star cluster. When the mission ended, every ship that had entered the shattered veil emerged intact. No lives were lost, no ships destroyed, and every objective had been met or exceeded. Back on Earth, the human team celebrated quietly. They had not fought with weapons, they had not sought glory, yet their actions spoke louder than any battle. The galaxy had witnessed human ingenuity, courage, and cooperation firsthand. Reports spread quickly across the Council and alien fleets. Counselor Philo addressed the assembly. Humans have surpassed our expectations. They do not rely on weapons or aggression. They rely on intelligence, unity, and courage. They have proven themselves not just capable but remarkable. Linara added, the Galactic test was not merely about survival. It was about character. And humans have shown us what true character looks like. Even the most skeptical species, including Varkan observers, admitted the truth. They are extraordinary, one said quietly. We have underestimated them for too long. We must reconsider our approach. On board the Horizon, Naomi Alvarez and Dr. Alara Singh reflected on the mission. This was never about proving dominance, Naomi said. It was about showing that humans can work together, think creatively, and act wisely. The galaxy needed to see it for themselves. Ilara nodded. And now they have. Humanity has changed the perception of our species forever. The galaxy will never underestimate Earth again. From Earth's surface, children looked up at the stars, unaware of the events unfolding in orbit and beyond. Scientists continued their work, engineers optimized systems, and humanity quietly celebrated another day of progress. The Shattered Veil mission was not just a test, it was a statement. Humans had demonstrated that strength was not in weapons, size, or aggression. Strength was in intelligence, cooperation, courage, and the willingness to act with purpose. And the galaxy, for the first time, recognized Earth as a species unlike any other. A new chapter had begun, one where humans would no longer be underestimated, one where the quiet strength of Earth would speak louder than any battle or conquest. The galactic test was complete. Humanity had passed, not by force, but by proving that the quiet, unified, and clever species from a small blue planet could rise to challenges no one else could. The Shattered Veil mission had ended. The alien fleets had witnessed human ingenuity, courage, and cooperation. Every species involved, from the cautious Kelthi to the skeptical Varkan, had seen firsthand what humans could accomplish. And yet, this was only the beginning. In the Galactic Council chamber, representatives debated what to do next. Counselor Philo of Korath spoke first. Earth has proven its strength without aggression. Their coordination, intelligence, and resourcefulness are remarkable. This planet must be acknowledged not as primitive, but as a power to respect. Linara, the Andari historian, nodded. Not only a power, but a partner. They have demonstrated that strength is not always about weapons. Sometimes strength is wisdom, patience, and cooperation. Varkan representatives who had been wary added reluctantly, "We underestimated them. Humans, they have changed the rules of how we see life and civilization. We must adjust our approach to them." Back on Earth, celebrations were quiet but meaningful. Scientists, engineers, and diplomats gathered on the surface and aboard orbital stations. They did not boast or brag. They simply acknowledged the achievement. Dr. Ilara Singh stood on the observation deck of Horizon, gazing at the galaxy. "They've seen us," she said. "They know now what humans are capable of. But this is only the first step. Our work is far from finished." Naomi Alvarez, the ambassador, smiled. "We have shown them who we are. We have acted with intelligence, courage, and unity. And now the galaxy knows. Earth is no longer just a planet to observe. It is a species to respect." Across Earth, life continued as usual. Cities thrived on renewable energy. Satellites monitored weather, oceans, and space traffic. Research stations advanced humanity's understanding of physics, biology, and astronomy. And humans continued to collaborate like never before. The unity that had made the galactic test successful was now part of everyday life. In orbit, alien delegates formally approached human leadership. Kelrix, the Zintari diplomat, projected a holographic image before the council on Horizon. "Ambassador Alvarez," he said, "humans have proven themselves in ways few species could. Your courage, intelligence, and cooperation have not gone unnoticed. We propose joint initiatives, research, exploration, and cultural exchange. Earth will no longer be isolated. You will have a place in the galaxy's Council of Civilizations." Naomi nodded. "We welcome collaboration, but our terms are clear. Earth acts with integrity, respect, and cooperation. We do not seek conquest, we seek understanding and knowledge." The aliens agreed. It was an unprecedented moment. For the first time, humanity had entered the galactic stage not through war or force, but through ingenuity, unity, and peaceful determination. On Earth, children played under clear skies, unaware of the cosmic recognition that had just been granted. Scientists shared discoveries openly. Engineers optimized space travel. Diplomats prepared for cultural exchanges. And humanity quietly but steadily prepared for its next great adventure. The stars. Dr. Singh walked through a bustling research center. She saw young engineers working on a new spacecraft, designed to travel beyond the known galaxy. She saw scientists developing energy systems capable of sustaining life for decades in deep space. And she saw humans from all nations cooperating, sharing ideas, learning from each other. "This is our strength," she said to Lieutenant Amani Reyes. "Not weapons, not power, but intelligence, creativity, and unity. That is what makes us different. That is what will carry us forward." Reyes nodded. "The galaxy will remember this. Not for our battles, but for our courage and cooperation." Even the alien fleets took time to adjust. Observers recorded every detail of human innovation. Diplomats studied human communication, social structures, and problem-solving skills. Scientists analyzed technology and energy usage. Every analysis confirmed the same conclusion: Earth was no longer a primitive planet. It was a beacon of potential, a model of what a species could achieve when united and wise. Jorvik, the young Kelti scout, stood on the observation deck of his ship, gazing at Earth. "I do not think I have ever seen a species like this," he said quietly. "They are small, but they have changed the rules of the galaxy. And they did it without aggression." Tarlin, his mentor, nodded. "Yes, and that is the most remarkable part. Humans do not need war to be respected. They do not need domination. Their strength lies in wisdom, courage, and unity. That is a lesson the galaxy will not forget." Humans themselves were aware of the significance, yet they did not let it go to their heads. Across Earth, people continued their work, focused on progress, exploration, and understanding. Their quiet strength had earned respect, but they knew the galaxy was vast, and challenges awaited beyond the stars. Naomi Alvarez prepared a message to the Galactic Council. "Earth accepts your acknowledgement," she said. "We will collaborate, share knowledge, and explore, but we do so as equals, with integrity and wisdom guiding every step. Our planet and our species will continue to grow quietly, steadily, and purposefully. We are ready for the next stage of this journey." The Council accepted. Humans were now formally recognized as a species of the galaxy, intelligent, capable, and remarkable in their ability to act with unity, courage, and foresight. In orbit, above Earth, the Horizon Station transmitted a signal, not loud, not aggressive, but clear. It was a signal of readiness, of curiosity, and of continued purpose. The galaxy received it, and every species understood. Earth had changed. Humanity had grown. And the quiet of their planet now spoke louder than any weapon ever could. Across continents, life moved on. Scientists calculated trajectories for new starships. Engineers designed habitats for distant worlds. Children learned about physics, biology, and the cosmos. And humans everywhere carried the knowledge that their species had, for the first time, shown the galaxy their true strength: intelligence, courage, and unity. In the far reaches of space, alien observers recorded every detail. Diplomats updated their reports. Scientists recalculated their assumptions. And everywhere, one thought persisted: Earth was no longer a planet to ignore. Humans were now a force of potential, a species that could inspire and challenge civilizations across the galaxy. Dr. Singh looked down at Earth one last time from the observation deck. "This is only the beginning," she said. "We have shown the galaxy what humans can achieve when united, and we will continue to grow, quietly, wisely, and courageously." Naomi Alvarez joined her. "And when the galaxy sees our next steps, they will know that silence was never weakness, it was preparation, strength, and the promise of a species that will rise not through force, but through intelligence, courage, and unity." The stars beyond Earth twinkled, holding endless possibilities. Humanity had taken its first true place among them, not as conquerors, not as aggressors, but as innovators, explorers, and partners.